In the days that followed Mr. Bingley's visit, life in the Bennet household resumed its usual rhythm, but Elizabeth found herself preoccupied with thoughts of Mr. Darcy and the complexities of their interactions. Her feelings were a tangled web of curiosity, frustration, and an unexpected spark of intrigue. One afternoon, as Elizabeth was reading in the drawing-room, Jane entered with a letter in hand, her face glowing with excitement. "Lizzie, you won't believe it. Mr. Bingley has invited us to dine at Netherfield." Elizabeth's heart skipped a beat. She was thrilled for Jane, who had been so enamored with Mr. Bingley, yet she felt a pang of anxiety at the thought of facing Mr. Darcy again. "That sounds wonderful, Jane. When is it?" "Tomorrow evening," Jane replied, her eyes sparkling. "Oh, I can hardly wait." As the day of the dinner approached, Elizabeth prepared herself with a mixture of eagerness and trepidation. She chose a simple yet elegant gown, hoping to strike a balance between modesty and grace. The prospect of dining at Netherfield filled her with anticipation, but the thought of Mr. Darcy's presence loomed large in her mind. When they arrived at Netherfield, the grand estate exuded warmth and hospitality. Mr. Bingley welcomed them with open arms, his cheerful demeanor instantly putting the sisters at ease. "Miss Bennet, I'm so glad you could join us," he exclaimed, leading them into the drawing-room. Mr. Darcy was already present, standing by the fireplace with a book in hand. He looked up as they entered, and for a moment, their eyes met. Elizabeth felt a rush of emotions, her heart racing at the intensity of his gaze. Dinner was a lively affair, filled with engaging conversation and laughter. Mr. Bingley was attentive to Jane, and Elizabeth couldn't help but smile at their obvious connection. However, she found herself drawn into a conversation with Mr. Darcy, who surprisingly engaged her with thoughtful questions about her reading preferences and opinions on literature. "I must admit, Miss Bennet, I have never met a woman who appreciates the classics as much as you do," he remarked, his tone sincere. "What is it about them that captivates you?" Elizabeth felt a flicker of warmth at his interest. "I find that they reveal much about human nature, Mr. Darcy. They explore the depths of emotion and the complexities of society, much like our own lives." His brow furrowed slightly as if contemplating her words. "You have a keen insight, Miss Bennet. It is refreshing to meet someone who values depth over superficiality." Their conversation flowed more easily than before, and Elizabeth began to see a different side of Mr. Darcy, one that was thoughtful and introspective. Yet, just as she felt a connection forming, the moment was interrupted by Mr. Bingley, who called for a game of charades. The atmosphere shifted as the guests engaged in playful competition, laughter filling the room. Elizabeth, caught up in the merriment, found herself enjoying the evening more than she had anticipated. Even Mr. Darcy seemed more relaxed, participating with a subtle charm that surprised her. As the evening drew to a close, Elizabeth felt a sense of contentment. The dinner had been a delightful experience, and she had gained a new perspective on Mr. Darcy. Perhaps he was not as proud and unyielding as she had initially believed. As they prepared to leave, Mr. Bingley approached Elizabeth with a warm smile. "I hope you enjoyed the evening, Miss Bennet. You must come again soon." Elizabeth nodded, her heart swelling with gratitude for the kindness shown by both him and Jane. As they departed, she caught one last glimpse of Mr. Darcy, who stood by the door, his expression contemplative. "Good night, Miss Bennet," he said quietly, his voice carrying a hint of something unspoken. "Good night, Mr. Darcy," she replied, feeling a flicker of hope that perhaps their relationship could evolve into something more meaningful.